Aloha and welcome to A Word with Ward. I'm Representative Gene Ward, and today I'm going to have a word with a group of people from Hawaii Kai. So by the end of this program, everything you ever wanted to know about Hawaii Kai, or the Hawaii Kai Hui, or the Livable Hawaii Kai, you're going to know about it. And first we have the president and founder, Liz Reilly. Liz, welcome to A Word with Ward.
Aloha.
And before we get into details of your organization, we want to know some of the people who are backing up and supplementing that, particularly in the Natural Resources Committee. Mardi Laprad. Welcome, Mardi.
Hello, thank you.
Pleasure to have you. And who's the young man to your left?
Well, this is my son, Ivan.
Hello.
Ivan, welcome. And we expect to hear good things about the birds that are flying in Hawaii Kai. I know he's got a lot of experience. Elizabeth, some of the people, they know about Hawaii Kai, but they don't know about what Livable Hawaii Kai, who he is, or was there ever a thought, because the image of Hawaii Kai is it's a very nice place to live, and who would ever think that it would become unlivable? Could you give us a bit of background, how the organization was formed, who's behind it, other than yourself, and then the intent and the goals?
Sure. Livable Hawaii Kai Hui is 6 years old, and we formed in 2004 for the purpose and intent originally to work with the farmers of Kamilanui Valley. But at that point in time, we had realized that there was many issues that needed to be dealt with. And so a group of good citizens, including myself, got together and we started off with Talk Story at Zippy's. And we had realized that the group was getting larger and larger and that we needed some structure as well. And so a core group got together and we formed a 501c3. And to that we decided the best way to care for community, the best way to help educate and help everybody understand how things change in our community is through adopting in our charter the East Honolulu Sustainable Communities Plan. And that's one of 8 plans that the city has that helps different districts in the guiding principles of how their communities take shape.
Yeah, we're going to talk some detail about that one.
So as we as a nonprofit decided to adopt that as our Bible, if you will, and we use that as our reference for how we help community, from zoning issues to saving natural resources such as ka'iwi, to 6 years ago when we worked with the farmers. The single most important thing back then was the community understanding what the urban growth boundary was within the context of the East Honolulu Sustainable Communities Plan, which is a very easy document to read and understand, is the language about the urban growth boundary. So understanding that document, giving it some teeth, some voice from the community, and upholding the integrity of it is what we do as a nonprofit for the community.
Sounds like a watchdog, the eyes and the ears of watching over the Aina, and I know you have a Natural Resources Committee.
We do, and I'm glad you mentioned that because it's not just about in upholding the integrity of the East Honolulu Sustainable Communities Plan. Part of it is also being proactive. Part of it is taking an inventory of your cultural and natural resources in your community, identifying it, sharing it, and celebrating it. So to that end, we're really fortunate that this past year we launched very aggressively 2 efforts: our Cultural Resource Committee as well as our Natural Resource Committee. Our Cultural Resource Committee is working on identifying pocket areas of culture, such as Pahua Heiau, which is under the care of OHA. We were fortunate to host them months ago and bring forth Pahua to the community, and we'll have more conversations with OHA. And then Havea Heiau, which is another interesting cultural site, and we know that there's many more to be found, such as ka'iwi even has quite important cultural relevance. So to that end, we are also happy to have the Natural Resource Committee, and that's where Mardi and her son come in, because we're sitting on an amazing jewel in Hawaii Kai, and I'm going to ask you to ask Mardi to tell us a little bit about the wetland restoration project.
Before Mardi talks about the wetland, Ivan was going to tell us about the Sustainable Community Plan. No, we'll get to you later on that one. Mardi, what about the wetlands?
Well, there are some wetlands, a large pond that was once the marshy fringe of what's now called Kuapa Pond. And that area, before Henry Kaiser's development, was the largest fish pond in all of Polynesia.
Do you want to repeat that?
the largest fish pond.
The largest fish pond in all of Polynesia.
In all of Polynesia, yes. And there's some wonderful history to be learned by going to maunalua.net, and you can learn a lot about the area, but I'll tell you some things in short. So in the 50s, when Henry Kaiser began his development, he built a roadway, Hawaikai Drive, and the pond is still connected to the larger area, which is now called Kuapa Pond, through some pipes. But
there's pipes.
It's connected, yeah. But by
I thought it was the bridge, and the water just went between.
I think you're thinking of a different area. But then by building the roadway, what happened was that marshy fringe, it always had fresh water from an artesian well, a spring bubbling up. And the well is still visible near Haweaheo. And it's a place where there was a Hawaiian fishing village, and kalo was farmed in terraces. And travelers would come and you could get a fresh drink of clear water there from the spring. And so now what's formed is this freshwater wetland, and it's home to the endangered alaiula, or Hawaiian moorhen. And
that's the one that Ivan is a specialist regarding.
Yes.
Is that correct, Ivan?
Yes.
What do you know about that?
Well, the alaiula, there are less than 300 in the world.
And how many do we have in Hawaikai?
In this pond, we have around from anywhere from about 3 to at the most 12 a year.
And was there a recent birth in the pond? I think someone announced at the neighborhood birth there was.
Yes, there was a recent birth about maybe 2-3 months ago. The chick is almost full grown now.
They grow fast. That was only a couple of weeks ago. It was just hatched.
Yes.
So the environment, if they do survive in the, I guess, the hatching stage, is conducive to at least some of them growing up.
Yes, they do have to watch out for predator control, such as mongoose and turtle.
You know, I'm just reminded, before we get into more of Hawaii Hui and Livable Hawaii Kai, who are the people? I mean, we didn't give any background on any of you. My apologies for all the learned and experiences that you guys have had. Liz, you want to say a couple of things about how you got interested in the driving force? I know marketing is one of your
I'm a graduate of the University of Hawaii College of Business.
All right.
And my background is marketing, advertising, and I've been fortunate to work with some top local ad agencies. And within that capacity, I was privileged to work with a number of developers. And I think that's probably what first sparked my interest in land use. And truly, I think it was through the passion of my care for Kamilanui Valley, my relationship with the farmers there, that provoked, or I should say inspired or enlightened me to help them 6 years ago. So 6 years ago, when they first had an issue, we put a banner up on Lunalilo Home Road with a simple question that said, what makes Hawaii Kai livable? And we put an email address, and within 2 days we had 124 people emailing us with their responses. I think the rest is history.
And now I can see how the name had its origin too, by virtue of the question. I understand you have a few heroes in Hawaii Kai. David Matthews. Do you know anything about David Matthews?
Yes, Dave Matthews.
How's David Matthews intersect?
The late Dave Matthews, with all due respect. I'm quite fortunate. We have been really gifted with having, I guess that we would call them kabuna, who have been there for us, who have helped us and guided
really
us.
Care.
Dave Matthews helped me when nobody else was answering the questions about how things move and groove in your community. He was on the other end of the phone in his last few years of helping and guiding Livable Hawaii Kai Hui, and teaching us all the necessary things that we needed to teach. But not just Dave Matthews, there's Phil Esterman, Donna Wong, a host of Chuck Prentice, a host of wonderful people that have been there for us and continuously be there for us and help us understand as we grow.